back. So today I'm going to be making a price guide for 2025 Metal Fusion Beyblades on the secondary market. So secondary market is like eBay and stuff like that. So stuff that's been like out of the box, played and whatever. So like used product, right? So one thing I forgot to take into account was like just how much the quality or the condition of the product is when it comes to prices. That's something that's definitely been shown throughout the last 3 months of sales. So we're going to go ahead and get started. One other thing is that we're going from low to high. So start with the cheapest stuff and then gradually go to the highest stuff, and I'll talk about like the price points and all that. So lowest is without a doubt Rock Scorpio. Lowest price, it goes for about $8, and yes, that includes shipping. The mid price or the average is about 10, and then the high is 12. These get sold quite a bit, so it's pretty easy to find the price of that one. Up next is Poison Serpent. Low is 11, the mid is 13, and then the high is 15. So a little bit more, but still pretty low. Condition wise on this one, this would be considered probably average because the stickers have been worn down a little bit. But it does have all the stickers, but it's been worn down. Up next is Dark Wolf. It's $11 at the low, 13 at the mid, and 15 at the high. So pretty much on par with the Poison Serpent. So with this being like custom stickers, that's definitely going to drive the price down, and the end here is also damaged. So this would be probably like probably a lower end one. Storm Capricorn, which kind of went up a little bit. The low end is 12, the mid is 14, and the high is 15. So not really there's been a lot of sales, so it was kind of easy to track the distance between the prices there. So this one would be considered probably average to high condition. Burn Fireblaze. This one is about the same as Storm Capricorn. So the low end is 12, the mid is 14, and then the high is 15. Again, there's a lot of sales on this one, so it was kind of easy to find the general price of it. So this one here would be probably average condition. That's a little worn down, and then these are not the original stickers, obviously. Up next is Earth Eagle. This one, the low is 12, the mid is 15, and the high is 16. So this one would be like a $16 one because it's got great stickers on it, and overall condition of this is very good. Flame Libra was a little bit more than Earth Eagle, which was kind of surprising, but it is what it is. I prefer Earth Eagle over this, but this one's pretty cool too. So the low is 15, the mid is 18, and then the high is 20. So it saw a little bit of a price boost there. El Drago. El Drago is kind of similar to Libra, but a little bit higher on the high end. So low is 15, the middle is 20, and the high is like 22. So like low end is like they're really damaged and they're missing most of the stickers, and the end is damaged. And then mid is they have some of the stickers and the end is a little damaged. So, and then obviously at the high end they're in like near mint condition, not quite mint, but they're in good shape. Evil Geminos. Low is 15, the mid is 20, and the high is 25. So the high end is 25, making it a little bit higher than El Drago in that perspective. So this one here would be mid to low because it's got quite a bit of damage on the stickers. We have Dark Gasher. Oh, and none of these are like mid fakes. These are all like rather Hasbro or Takuratami. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, so no mid fakes here. Mid fakes are a lot cheaper, obviously. So got a Gasher here. Gasher, low end was 18, the middle was 20, and the high end was 22. There was actually quite a few recent sales on this on eBay, so it was easier to find, you know, the price point. This one here would probably be mid condition because it's missing the two stickers here. But overall, it's actually in pretty decent shape. We have Storm Pegasus next. Kind of similar to Gasher, but it's a little bit higher on the high end. So the low is 18, the mid is 20, and then the high is 24. So this one I think is a Hasbro, unfortunately. This one, Thermal Pisces, a little bit higher, but pretty much in the same ballpark. So the low is 18, the mid is 20, and then, or 22, and then the high is 25. So this one would be probably on the lower end because it's missing the stickers on the outside, and then this one's damaged. This one would probably be mid quality, I think. It's not too damaged. Flame Sagatario. So on the low end is 20, on the mid is 22, and then the high is 25. It's a little bit higher than the last two. This one would be considered definitely on the higher end. It's got all the stickers, a little bit of wear, but it's not bad, and then the stickers and the claws are still intact. And we have Rock Leone. Low end is 20, the middle is 22, and then the high is 25. So in the same ballpark as Flame Sagatario, which was kind of surprising. I thought this would go up in value, but it's been staying about the same or a little less even. This one would be considered probably mid. I see a lot of like Rock Leones that sell on that lower end where this is completely damaged. So with this being like this would probably be like a mid because it's missing the outside stickers there. And then we have Rock Orso, which is about the same as Rock Leone and Flame Sagatario. So low end is 20, middle is 22, and then the high is 25. So some of them sell a little bit higher. They're in pretty, decent shape. This one's would be considered on the higher end because it's got most of the stickers. There's a little bit of wear, but it's pretty good. And then the end is in great shape as well. And also there's not really a whole lot of scratches on the ring, or the wheel. Up next is Dark Bull. Dark Bull this is where it kind of jumps up a little bit. So Dark Bull is low end is 30, the mid is 35, and then the high end is 40. There hasn't really been, a whole lot of sales for Dark Bull, so the prices were kind of all over the place. But the low end, like a lot of damaged stickers, like no stickers, and then like missing parts or damaged parts, $30. And then the mid-price ones kind of look like this, and then the higher end ones have all the stickers intact, and then there's like no damage on the spin track. So this one would be like a mid to high in that area. Earth Virgo, slightly higher than Dark Bull. Not a whole lot of sales on this either, but from what I found, the low end is about $33, $34. The mid is $38, and then the high is about $42. This one would be definitely on the low end. It's missing all the stickers and all that, and there's a lot of damage. So this would be like $32-ish, $33. Storm Aquario. Price has been about the same from last time. Not a whole lot of sales on this one either. So low end is 35, the middle is 45, and the high end is 50. So this one would be definitely a 35 because this sticker is damaged. And I mean, that's about it really. I mean, you know, the stickers really do like factor into the value a lot. So this one might be a 35 to 40-ish dollar one. And then if it had all the stickers, it would be all, you know, 45 to 50-ish. So I've also seen a lot of ones where those $30 or, you know, $35 ones where this is like damaged. This one's not damaged, so that would probably put it a little bit higher. We have Rock Aries. Rock Aries has been relatively the same since last time I did this, but so low end is 40, the middle is 50, and the high end is 60. This one would be definitely a high end one. Stickers are in pretty good shape, and the wheel is really clean. This is, you know, in pretty good shape as well. So this would be about a $60-ish Beyblade. And then we have the most expensive one, Cyber Pegasus. So this is where condition matters a lot. So this one I have would be about $40. But if it's in better shape, like the paint, it has more paint on it, just the paint alone would drive up the value. So even if it's missing the stickers, so the mid price on these would be about $60, which is kind of crazy. And the mid price is, you know, obviously more paint and then some of the stickers on it. And then if it's like not even like in the box, but like just in the plastic still. I'm not sure how to describe this, but like if it's just in the plastic still, these sold recently for $90. So I'm talking like the ones that you get in like the game, because that's where you can get this, is from the game. So anyway, out of box, $60 in decent condition, and then anything that's like less than decent condition is gonna be about the $50, $40 to $50 range. So it's definitely the most valuable one by far.